What up, what up, what up, y'all? This your boy X coming to you from PressPlayOnYourDestiny.com. And I know I might look a little different from all my other videos. Uh got a shortcut. Normally have the fro going on. But I got a new set of clippers and I had to use them out. Did all of this myself. See what I mean? Pretty cool. Those are the kind of things you can do when you get in touch with your higher self. It's just called intuition, trusting yourself and trusting the source that's within you so that you can do things. Let me tell y'all something about me. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that it's the all that's in me that gives me the ability to do a lot of the things that I could do. You could ask anybody about me. I'm considered a very multi-talented, multi-gifted person. I could do a lot of different things. And once again, I say it's not me that does it, but it's the one inside of me, the conscious mind or spirituality that dwells inside of me that gives me the ability and the intuition. All intuition simply is just trusting in yourself, trusting in your abilities, trusting in the powers that be that lie within you. Like I told you, you could do anything in life if you would just look inside and trust the powers that be that are inside of you. I didn't go to a barbershop to get this done, and as you seen, you can look at my other videos, and I had a fro. It took me a while to get this done, but I got it done. Okay. Anyway, but I wanted to talk to y'all about the vastness of spirituality and consciousness. And spirituality and consciousness is deep. I mean, when you decide to hop on the path of consciousness and spirituality, there are so many different directions you could go in, so many different things that you could do, so many different things you can explore, so many different types of um, teachings and knowledge that you can gain. It's crazy. But I wanted to talk to y'all today about a book that I'm reading. It's called Psychic Sciences. And I told y'all I like to learn and grow. And I like this book because it breaks down a lot of different types of sciences. And psychic sciences are going to be your things like metaphysics, um, astrology, numerology, uh, tarot cards. Like it's really like those psychic type things that would fall in the category of psychic sciences. And when I say psychic things, I mean things dealing with the mind. Scientists would kind of say that a lot of this stuff isn't uh tangible knowledge, or it's not uh it wouldn't hold up to scientific standards. And scientists, they like to use raw data and facts. But one thing I'll tell you, they said it beautifully in I think the exorcism of Emily Rose, when they had the case going on, and the lawyer had told the people, because I guess they didn't believe that Emily was actually possessed. And when we get into things like possession, um, and those like more spiritual things or things not quite understood by the world, we tend to have a lot of skepticism about it. Really skeptical. Oh, she wasn't possessed. She was just crazy. She was dealing with her own issues. But when in actuality, she actually was possessed. And so the lawyer told the panel, she said that fact leaves no room for possibility. And I am a firm believer in that. I believe that I don't necessarily believe in facts too much. When somebody comes to me and saying, well, this is the fact, this is the fact. Well, then again, in life, there is this like gray area that we don't quite understand. And that's when we start to label people with different mental disorders, when people are able to tap into these different gray areas of life and they're able to explain them. And so these gray areas, I believe, are explained by psychic sciences. Psychic sciences tend to go the distance that science can explain, that the world can explain, that society can explain, that religion can explain. Psychic sciences kind of takes you a little deeper into, well, it could possibly be this based on facts and evidence, because all psychic sciences do is really use what we know as humans as a foundation of their occult studies. That's pretty much it. So, in reading about the psychic sciences, man, it is so many different types of psychic sciences. I can't even go through them all. It's over. It's a lot, and psychic sciences all come from something called divination, okay, or the divine, and basically saying that all uh psychic sciences come from some inspired source of the divine. So that's the one pretty interesting thing about psychic science is that they all have a root in the divine. Everybody that studies these psychic sciences believe that there is a bigger God. Now, the interesting thing about it is that each sect of the esoteric thinking with these psychic sciences all believe in a divine source, a divine being. And I think that's cool. There are so many different types of psychic sciences, astrology being one. That's probably one of the more popular psychic sciences because for one, it has a lot of longevity. It has been around for a while. And if you don't really know what astrology is, if you've heard people talk about their zodiac signs or um, yeah, the zodiac signs is pretty much what's very popular about astrology. You know, people say, "Oh, what's your sign?" "Oh, yeah, I'm a Libra. I'm a Capricorn. I'm a Taurus. I'm a Scorpio. I'm a Cancer." These are all things associated with astrology, and that's probably one of the more popular psychic sciences. Now, I'm gonna tell you one that's probably not as popular, but it's weird. I mean, in psychic sciences, they range from I can understand to completely weird. I mean, there's one type of psychic science, I think it's like a lyrology or something like that, where they believe that the source of understanding comes from burning wood. And as you burn this wood, certain color smoke will come up, and based on the colors of the smoke, would tell you different things about the future and things like that. And another one that I found pretty interesting was where they would use crows and pigeons. These are all types of psychic sciences, and people study these things. And so one is where they would get the alphabet. They would get a sheet of paper and they would get a crow, preferably. And the significance of the crow, I'm not 100% sure, but they would get the crow and then they would say each letter. And apparently every letter that you say, whichever letter the crow crows on, they will write that letter down. So if you say A, B, C, and then the crow crows, and then you say D, E, F, and then the crow crows on F, you write all of these letters down. And apparently, in this source of divination, the crow was able to spell out messages, spiritual messages that the person that studies the teaching would be able to interpret. So it's pretty vast. It's very people study all different types of divinology, and I think it's very interesting that while you're traveling the spiritual path, that you not limit yourself to what you know and what you understand. Now, of course, you might have certain things that you kind of resonate more with, that you might like a little more than other things. In my personal opinion, I like right now, I think astrology is a very interesting psychic science because little do a lot of us know, and I'm gonna throw some deep knowledge on y'all about astrology that y'all probably didn't know. A lot of us, pretty much, when it comes to astrology, we might know a little bit about, our signs. You know, myself, I'm a Capricorn, and um, for most of us, we might know our horoscope, we might know our zodiac, and maybe do a little research on it, but that's all we know, and astrology goes so much deeper than just the zodiac. As the word astrology actually breaks down into knowledge of the stars or study of the stars. And it's not just the stars, it's about the universe, actually. And astrology, a couple of cool things. I'm not gonna point out everything, but a person's horoscope. If you're not into astrology or your horoscope, I would advise or suggest. That's a better word. I would suggest that you actually read it. You'll be surprised at how exact a person's horoscope is about them too. And numerology is a good thing too. man, I did my numerology chart, and I was exactly like they said in my numerology chart. It was creepy. Even my horoscope, a lot of your personality, a lot of characteristics of yourself, you will find in these different charts. But back to the horoscope, when it comes to astrology, like I said, it's bigger than just your what your sign is. And believe it or not, each sign is influenced by the planet, by a planet, okay? And I'm gonna just say my sign as a Capricorn is run by the planet Saturn. But then my birthday falls in I'm actually considered a borderline Capricorn slash Sagittarius. So I would be considered a cusp sign. I'm considered more of the two. I'm considered a Capricorn because my birthday is on the 22nd of December, but that is the start date because December the 21st, you will be a Sagittarius. So I am right in the middle. Now, they have something called deacons, okay? And a deacon is actually broken up in the sense that they're even more specific. It's a deacon is a lot more related to like planetary rule, and it's a lot more specific about different traits. Because as you know, you might know a bunch of people born on December the 22nd, but it's the deacon that actually talks a lot about the certain traits that they would have, and so deacons are broken down into like 10-day periods. So you might have like December the 21st to the 26th, and then from the 27th to the 5th or something like that. And these deacons are very specific to traits. So now not only am I a Capricorn or a Capricorn Sagittarius mix, now I have a deacon that actually influences my character. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something that's pretty interesting, and I know I kind of walked past the whole deacon thing, but I told y'all about it. And like I say in this channel, go and do your own research about everything. Don't hold anything I say to face value. I'm just throwing new information out there for you to research. But I told you about deacons to tell you that it breaks down your sign even more. A deacon not only says that you're a Capricorn, but you're a Capricorn that's more likely to do this or more likely to be this way based upon the time frame that you were born in. And one other thing that I also think is pretty cool about astrology is that not only do the planets, you have planets that rule um, the signs of the zodiac, but you got planets that actually influence the day, the month, and even the year. I'm not sure if you know, but the year 2013, this is the sun cycle. See, we have cycles too, and each planet is involved with a cycle when it comes to the rotation. And so then once you find out that we're in the sun cycle in 2013, then you want to do your research on the sun. And so the sun has its own influences that are particular that actually affect us differently. Mars would affect you differently than Jupiter would. Jupiter would affect you differently than Venus would. So it's very interesting to get into the psychic science of astrology because astrology uses our planets to explain certain things, and even the planets have certain characteristics, even down to the day you were born. You even have planets of the day. I'm not 100% sure what planets are on every day, but I think, oh, something real deep. I bet y'all didn't know. The Greeks and the Romans, the way we actually got the days of the week, the way they are, is they used astrology. Sunday, a lot of words that we just say during the week we don't understand, but Sunday or the seventh day in the week was considered Sunday, meaning that day is ruled by the sun. The next day you have is Monday, which was actually considered Moon Day. So the moon actually controls Monday. And then as you fast forward, now some of the days they changed up the names to fit the days of the week. But then when you have Saturday was considered Saturn Day. So the Saturday was run by the Saturn planet. So each of these days that was run by these planets had different effects. So and each one of the planets would affect a certain sign a specific day. Myself being a Sagittarius, Capricorn, borderline, or cusp sign, I would probably benefit more from the influence of the days of Saturn Day, which is Saturday, and I forgot what the other day was for Sagittarius, but uh Sagittarius. I'm trying to. Oh, Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet that governs Sagittarius, but I forget which day Sagittarius is on. I'm not sure which day the planet runs Sagittarius, but in any case, that's just how deep astrology goes. I think that it's amazing that it actually goes that deep into. I mean, it even gets into um like mathematics when you're trying to make somebody horoscope, when you're trying to figure out, the days and the deacons and there's ways to come up with specific numbers. And if you think that if you've done your research on your horoscope, you probably know very little about your sign in all actuality, because your sign breaks down into days, into months, into years, into cycles, into deacons, and they all influence you. You might, let's just say, be a Libra and your ruling planet is Venus, but then you might have been born on a specific day during the solar cycle, and that might have made you you might, let's say you're a Libra and Venus is the ruling planet over Libra, but let's just say you were born on Sunday. That means you have influence from the sun. So not only does Venus actually governs you as a Libra, but then the characteristics from the sun on Sunday that you were born will also play a factor into who you are. And so all of these, what I like to call subcategories in astrology, they all point to like extremes. You might be more like this or more like this, depending on the very specific days, times, months, and years and cycles you were born into. So astrology gets really, really deep. Um, Also, something that's really interesting for you to start looking into is numerology. I think I mentioned it once. Numerology is pretty different, and that numerology has a lot to do with math, and calculating uh I couldn't even sit here and tell you. I'm gonna tell y'all a good website to go to. Go to numerology.com. It's a it's a phenomenal website, and get your numerology chart and just read it. You'll be so surprised that it is so on point about who you are. You'll probably scare yourself. But numerology pretty much like astrology could break down what kind of person you are, what kind of characteristics you have, what kind of traits you have. And so numerology, it gives you, there's three main numbers in numerology that describes who you are. You have a soul urge number, you have a life path number, and you have it's one other number, but all of these numbers play a part into who you are, your personality, and a lot of people look forward to numerology to teach them things about themselves, about their future selves, about their past selves. That's what numerology is really good for. So I forgot all my life path numbers and everything like that, but when I was doing my research in it, it was so deep. The exactitude of numerology is just, you'll be surprised. Couple of other ones that are pretty interesting too is colorology. Colorology is actually something that's pretty interesting because it gets divination from colors, and it basically states that different colors have different spiritual or conscious meanings associated with them. And this is very common in, let's just say, like auras, learning how to read auras. And if you know that certain auras have different colors, one aura is purple. and the color purple represents intuition, where the white color represents like purity or spirituality. And then when you get into colors like gold, that's more like royalty. And so based on certain colors, you could draw different conclusions about an individual, about the spiritual essence of something based on the color that it has. I'm looking at my book right here, and it has a lot of things on here. Let me just show you. It's yoga on here, ESP, telepathy, um, superstitions, dream interpretation, graphology, physiognomy, uh, physiognomy, or whatever it says. Look, I ain't say I was the best pronouncer in the world, but this book just covers so many different things. And I just wanted to talk to y'all about just how vast the spiritual world and consciousness is. It's so big, it's so much to learn. And if I want you to get anything from this video, do not limit your understanding of anything. Don't just pick something and stick with it. Learn a few things and learn how to combine them. Maybe you can make your own psychic science. You never know. That's all these people did. A lot of people in here, think about even the same thing with religion. A lot of people get their own interpretation of it, their own understanding and understanding of it, and they create their own thing. And then you have people who are studying that. So don't limit your contribution to the world by limiting yourself to somebody else's knowledge. Like I said, all of this is very good knowledge to know, but draw your own conclusions from it. Don't just say, well, you read it and that's what it is. Do extra research. My wife and I are avid researchers. We'll get online, we'll go to the library, we'll read books, everything on a subject or a topic to be very well versed in understanding and understanding what it's talking about. So like I said, I love you guys. Make sure y'all are pressing play to y'all destiny. Please subscribe to the channel, you guys. Got a lot of great new things getting ready to come out. And you guys are gonna love it. So until the next time, love you, and I'll catch y'all on the fly. Peace.